G'day legends and welcome to this very special edition of the Coach Carter podcast. We've obviously got the visuals today. For the audio version, we've got an in-house special guest, Big Stevie.
The man himself.
What's going on, bro?
Stevie G. What's going on, boys?
That's the new nickname.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you for having me.
Nah, our pleasure, my bro. Now, in case you guys are wondering who Stevie is, he's been in the shop for the last couple of weeks, and he's been dropping some absolute collections on us, some cards, some facts, some trends, he's just absolutely blown our mind, and we're excited to announce that he's actually going to be part of the Rip N'Collect team. He's going to be down in the shops on Thursdays. So he is the Dragon Ball expert, self-proclaimed Dragon Ball expert.
Yeah, very loosely.
Don't put the Z on there, mate.
That's it. We're talking heroes today.
We've just been talking about this before we went live.
Don't make that mistake.
All right, so expert, what's the difference between DBZ and Dragon Ball Heroes, or the terminology of speaking it?
Wait. First.
Of course.
Crack your beers.
Oh, yes, have to.
The new line of Blakey Brews. The new and improved Blakey Brew. These ones are on steroids.
This is my Blakey Brew too, so I'm excited.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys. Don't suck it. Don't give it deep throat before the stream.
Speak for yourself, bro. You've been practicing on that
Oh,
model.
good.
Yeah, so Stevie, the terminology where collectors might get a little bit confused between Dragon Ball, DBZ, because that gets thrown around quite a lot, even though it might not necessarily be DBZ. You break that down for us, my bro?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure. So first and foremost, I want to give credit to the guy that got me into collecting the Dragon Ball heroes. So that's the boys over at DB Heroes AU. Basically, they're the ones that sort of supply the cards for us in Australia. I'll touch more into that a little bit later, but just sort of to give everyone an idea of sort of the difference between Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Heroes, Dragon Ball Super. Mainly with Heroes, the biggest difference between Heroes and why I actually got drawn to them was because it's not actually a TCG. It's not like a trading card game. So what I mean by that, boys, is...
Did you know that that's the first time I realised that's what TCG just stands for? Trading card game?
Boys,
it's just like a trigger for me too.
Boys are catching up. Good stuff.
You can tell we're past sports collectors.
I'll rephrase it. Yes, so TCG, sorry for all the listeners and viewers, is it's a trading card game, so TCG. So however, Heroes is different in the fact that it's not a TCG, it's actually an ACG. What that abbreviated is an arcade collecting game, I believe.
Okay.
I'm happy to be corrected by anyone, but I'm pretty sure it's arcade collecting game. So, so how that works, basically with Dragon Ball Heroes versus your Supers, Dragon Ball cards that you pull out of packs, you physically have to go to Japan. Physically go to Japan to play these machines. They're not in anywhere else.
So what sort of games are they?
So I actually went to Japan. I was lucky enough to go to Japan. I think it was 2018 before the virus and everything took over. So I was lucky enough to go to Japan, and I was with my family. So I was with my fiance and my son. My daughter wasn't born then. But we went over and we just did a family trip. So I didn't actually get to sort of go into the arcades and fully play one, but I did sort of see them and I saw how they work. So basically, just to give you a sort of visual of how it would actually be, the ACG, sort of the arcade game, basically it's like if you imagine saying going into Time Zone and playing Tekken. Tekken and Street Fighter, those are your go-to, right? So how that one would work is there's a big screen in front of you, and then normally on the bottom you'd have joystick controls to play and jam your Street Fighters and Tekken. However, this one, man, how it worked was basically there's another screen. There's another screen on the bottom that replicated the screen on the top. And then what you do is you put in like your yen or, if you had an arcade card that you could play with. I'm assuming that's what they had because some guys were using cards to play the game.
The old Time Zone cards.
Yeah, similar to that.
Build up the points.
Building up the points, exactly. So basically the card would pop out and then, bro, you put the money in, a card would pop out at the bottom, sort of a couple of cards.
So before the game was played?
Before it was played, you get a handful of cards.
Yeah.
From what I saw, it was a handful of cards. I don't know if they were getting one or two, but from what I've seen when people were playing it, there's like one or two, couple coming out.
Yeah.
And again, I'm happy to be corrected on this through DB Heroes AU. They are the GOATs. They understand this more than me. A lot of what I know is from them. So again, I'm happy to be corrected by anyone, but this is from what I saw when I was in Japan.
Yeah, of course.
So it popped out, and then they would just chuck them onto. So when I saw it, I thought, what are they doing? Like they're just putting these cards onto a screen. So those particular cards, though, were actually the same cards that you would play with that would then come up on the screen.
Oh, no way.
So
you get to use your character on the screen.
Yeah, exactly right. So
wow.
Yeah, so the card that came out, you'd get them together, and they had all different sort of varieties and rarities of what the card was. At the time, I didn't know that because I didn't really know what was going on. I was just sort of glancing and having a look. And they just, you'd put it on the screen where normally you'd have the joysticks on a Street Fighter and a Tekken machine.
Yep.
Put it on there, and then that character on that card would pop up on the screen.
Oh.
And then I didn't see anyone versing each other on these machines. I see them versing like computers.
Right.
Computer generated sort of characters.
Yeah.
So they would do that, and they would fight those characters. And I wasn't there long enough to see if they would get any other cards from winning.
Yeah.
But I did see the cards that came out when they were first put money in. So from my knowledge, from what I understand, is that you play the game using those base set cards that come out.
Yep.
And as you go along, I believe other cards come out in different rarities. So
is it all like a luck thing? So say I put yen, whatever it is, in.
Yeah. So you
get spit out like a secret rare and a rare. So is it all luck on what sort of rarity the card comes out?
Yeah, great question, man. Great question. So with that, I'm not 100% sure on terms of that. I don't know if you put the money in and you'll if you just constantly
if you put a $10 yen and whatever the comparison is, if you put 10 yen in as opposed to 1, do you get
Yeah, so I don't know how the rarity system works in terms of them popping out. Like,
I'd be loading it up.
Oh man, there could be
give me all those secret rares.
Yeah, because and that's what everyone's chasing.
Gambling's not a big thing in Japan, is it?
I think it's illegal, bro.
I think it's not like openly talked about. I don't think so. Like,
I think all their gambling's done like
undercovers.
Yeah. So that's like a little form of getting a fix.
Yeah, man. And like at the time, I didn't know how big it was. I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I love Dragon Ball, so I was still into the English sets. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna really do anything with this.
So you were collecting Super first?
No, I was actually just looking at the old school Dragon Ball. So the original sets.
Yeah. They're not very shiny compared to
oh, bro. The foils on these cards are insane.
I think we're recording, so as you can see, these are actually some of the Dragon Ball Heroes sets right here. So just to touch on what we were just saying, so that's how the machine works. You just pull out the cards that you get when you spend 100 yen or whatever it might be.
Yep.
And then you take them home once you finish playing. So what for me like really drew me into these cards is Dragon Ball Heroes, and there's no disrespect to Super and all that. I love all sets, love all the TCGs, like they're amazing. But what pulled me into Heroes was more so the fact that you actually pull them out and you play with them, right? When it comes to grading, I mean, this day and age, pulling cards out and playing with them, no one does it. You know what I mean? like because you're damaging the cards and stuff like that. You want to get the best grade possible, right?
Yeah.
But the pull rate and the margin for error when you're grading these is crazy. Like I'm talking cards coming out of a machine, going through a machine, flipping out, hitting. Edges could be scratched. Surfaces.
So I was going to ask, how's the condition of most of these cards that are going to come out?
Exactly, bro. So condition-wise, it's much more of a it's a risk. It's a risk when you're doing Heroes, right? So when I got introduced to Heroes, man, I'm really sorry, I can't remember the guy's name who introduced me to it, but he gave me that little inside tip about Heroes, and he said, there's one guy bringing them in for Australia, because otherwise, again, you have to go to Japan. So you have to go to Japan.
I wish I knew about this when I was there. I was there at the start of last year.
There you go, bro.
I didn't even think about Pokemon. I didn't think about. I was literally going to golf stores. Bro, there's me. I'm traveling 45 minutes into town just to go to a golf store.
You're in that honeymoon phase, bro.
It was
how times change, eh? Stores the cards, bro. Yeah. But same as me, bro. When I went there, I wasn't even thinking about cards. I was in the arcade store for my son. He wanted to play, jump on the little trains and all that sort of stuff. And I just happened to glance over and see it. So when it came back up and I was introduced to DB Heroes AU, I seen them. I was like, I remember these cards. I remember when I was in Japan, they didn't pop that way to me. Because I never physically seen the cards. I seen the machines, but I never seen the cards in person. I just thought, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got introduced to it. I seen it and I was hooked from that instant, because I realized that they were coming from a machine. They're not being pre-packaged into packs. You can't buy booster boxes.
Once the print run's done.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you know much about the print run on the secret rares, your rares?
Again, loose knowledge on this. Like from what I've gathered, the print run on these, I believe. Again, stand to be corrected on this. You can. So basically, I think every 2 to 3 months, maybe a quarter, even a monthly one, these machines will then change the set. So for instance, like a Dragon Ball Heroes card will have a little mark on the top right-hand side of the card.
Yep.
That tells you what set it comes from.
Okay, so that's what you were explaining to me.
So that particular set might change monthly, 2 months, a quarter. I'm not too sure exact time frame.
Yeah.
But once it does change, this is where it gets really interesting, right? So once it does change, these cards that are left in the machine, the company that run these machines will pull the cards that are left out of that machine, and they will actually give them to a hobby store in Japan. So they'll distribute them to the hobby stores.
Okay, yeah.
And that will be your only chance to get the cards on a secondary market.
Shit. Okay.
So you got.
Right, so it comes. They're quite rare.
Oh mate, in terms of rarity, they're crazy, because once it gets to a hobby store, hobby stores are all the rage in Japan. So if you've been to Japan, every sort of second, third store you go past is a hobby store.
Oh, yeah, true. I just wish I walked inside.
Man, like hobby stores over there. We think we're crazy in Australia with hobbies.
Bro, there was one right next to this golf shop that I was going to literally every 2 days, and it just never budged. I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to go look at some Pokemon. But that's all it was. It was like, it was just all the figurines out the front with Pokemon, and I was like, oh, nah.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
I'd rather go look at a
interest,
golf ball or some shit. Now I'm like, fuck, if I was back there, I'd be fucking living in that shop.
Good polos, bro.
I bought a club over there, which I overpaid maybe $200 for. I bought a fucking towel. I bought the worst shit.
A towel, that's the best.
It's a US Masters towel. And I was like,
how good. You're stoked.
I was stoked, bro. I was going back showing my missus. I'm like, look what I just got.
It's crazy how much, like you sort of mentioned, Stevie, was like, how much different your mindset can change after a year of different experiences and stuff. Like the whole outlook on it now is just completely different. You think how much would this be worth in another 10 years, as opposed to, like you said, just walking straight past it and missing that train where there's booms everywhere 100%. Waiting to happen. And I think that's where I wanted to also ask you about before we get into sort of showing your cards is you're very good at picking up some early trends. You've got a couple of Michael Jackson cards that are very low pop. And there's reasons. Pop?
Well, I found out the other day, 2 of them are pop 3.
Yep.
So, and one of them's pop 1. So
they
still hold a lot of value though.
Oh, 100%.
Crazy value.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of a background, I guess, on that Michael Jackson story, and then how you can. I mean, it's good for everybody to learn as well how they can start to do a little bit more research about other things and catch things while they're on an uprising market.
Oh, 100%, bro. So, like when it comes to trends and stuff, I don't think I'm like a master or anything at it. But what I do think is
ask me, I'll tell you, he's a fucking master at it. He's really good.
This is the one that convinced Benny to collect Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I gave up my Connor auto. Yeah, that says. Anyway, I held on to that for a solid year.
Trust me, it's home.
First time I met Stevie, I said, "You can take it, brother. You can take it."
Home.
But
love it. But yeah, boys, like with trends, I'm a big believer that if shout out to Gary Vee, and that obviously if you're listening to this, you must know who that is. You got to know, if you're in the hobby, you got to know Gary Vee. You either love him or you hate him. All love. But with Gary Vee, I found it very interesting that his outlook on cards really affected the market. So
100%,
every word he spoke, the market would follow.
Trend, yeah.
So one thing I noticed though is as the market followed specific things, I decided to just do the opposite. I did that pretty early on because I thought it's gonna price me out. Following a trend. So so I started my own trend, which was just to not go where Gary was saying or doing, and
almost the opposite, because that's what the majority of the crowd, the following, were doing.
And look, in saying that though, like following the trend is good in an instance as well, because if you're lucky enough, like what I love about the boys here at Rip N'Collect is that you guys do breaks. So if you follow the trend and you can get in cheap on a break, and you hit that trend player, bro, you're on a gold mine.
Yeah.
Because then you can go ahead and sell that, jump on a break for $20 and I just hit a freaking 1 of 10, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you hit that and then you sell it while that card's trending, so breaks, in my opinion, are just, bro, they're the bread and butter because you can get in cheap and you can score something that's just.
It's a good gateway to get into it.
That's how we started. That's how this whole the thing started. Was
we were jumping in breaks all the time, and literally the Luca that we hit was our turning point where we just went all in. We're like, fuck. We didn't realize the actual money behind everything, and so we just went all in.
You just hit the nail on the head, and that's why I say, like, even though I didn't follow the trend, and I've managed to get a few good cards that have really set me up.
Yeah.
If you are following the trend, I recommend following the trend through breaks because you're not priced out.
Yeah.
And if you hit something, you hit something good, bro, for a break.
100%.
Holy, life changing. Like you said, this whole store has been set up since the Luca. Since the card. So I'm big on that. But yeah, we've got my heroes on the table at the moment. The reason we're showcasing these bad boys, sorry to go back to heroes, but it's because they are minted 10. We do have one black label at the front there, which,
first black I've seen in person, to be honest.
Not going to lie, man. The black labels are near impossible. They're near impossible to grade and get. Now with Beckett and PSA, SGC, all the grading brands are now being very, very strict on their grading process. AI technology is coming in, like everything that you can think of is coming in to not control the population, but just to sort of control the quality and make sure that a 10 is actually a 10. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're doing. So to get that from a Heroes card, which comes through a machine, well, first it gets packaged, sent to a store. Once it's unpacked, it gets loaded into a machine. Once it comes out of the machine, you're handling it. Once you're handling it, you go give it to a hobby store, trade it, and then it eventually ends up in someone else's hands like mine.
There's a lot more.
So
the handling.
Grade that personally? Or
No,
you bought that
great
graded?
question. Again, shout out to TV Heroes AU. I brought that graded. Again, I went through this store. I'm sure we can link that up.
Of course,
at some point.
I've actually shouted him out the last couple of potties and every time I can because he's an absolute legend. Even I didn't realise, but he threw in the blue Vegeta. That blue Vegeta that's out of the PC, it says bonus or whatever on it because
bro.
Like what an absolute G. He didn't have to do that.
Exactly.
And again, that's still in real immaculate condition. He doesn't send out cards that are what was the guarantee that you sort of touched on?
Oh look, it's more of a personal. Because
Because I've been talking about how good his service is and that he didn't send me a card because he noticed the slight damage, but I didn't notice any damage on the card. And what I'm trying to sort of get at is that he owned, that goes to show how strict he is on sending out quality cards. He's not going to stitch you up and give you something if it's got a little ding in it.
Bro, exactly. And to touch on that, man, like you said, with his cards, bro, the quality control is insane. So like on your one, I think you purchased a particular card, but he wasn't happy with the quality of that card he was giving to you. So instead, he threw in that freebie, still got your cards here. And I think, did you get refunded or did you get?
I got refunded as well.
Refunded plus an extra card.
But service.
But
it's a blue Vegeta. It looks sick.
It looks epic.
It stands out.
And with his site, bro, the main thing is on that site, he does stipulate the actual condition of the card. And if it's not going to be that condition, he either doesn't send it to you, or if you get it and it's not a good condition. I've had a good sort of personal relationship with him. You could send that thing back. But he wouldn't send it to you in the first place anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and if you're looking at it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this card and it says near mint, don't expect a 10 because he's the type of person that will make sure that the cards you're getting are exactly what it is. So if it says near mint, I mean, if you're getting a 10, bro, someone was drunk at that grading place because bro, he does not send. He doesn't. You know what I mean? So. But and then he does say mint one, so gem mint sort of, which will be your 10.
So it gives you that rough idea.
They're
grade.
Very on point.
And they're priced accordingly for that as well.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get the gem 10, you're obviously going to pay a bit more money. But what you get in quality is insane. So you imagine with heroes, they go through so many sets of hands before they even reach you. So
and machines
and DB Heroes, their team actually have a team on the ground in Japan who select the cards personally. Once they're selected, they go through a process of just making sure they're all, minty fresh and real perfect. And then they'll send them over to Australia to him. And then he puts them on his site, and then we're the lucky buggers that get to enjoy.
So
these
he's
cards
got like exclusive hookups.
I wouldn't say exclusive hookups, but he's got like good mates good connections that he built when he constantly visits Japan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately during COVID you can't now, but he built relationships. Those guys or girls will go out, source the cards for him, whether it be through hobby or through machine.
Yep.
Handpicked. He'll look at the card, say, nah, I don't want that one. I don't think it's my quality. Yep. Yes, I do think it is. Put it in my pile and we'll send it over to Aussie.
Yeah.
And then we're the lucky buggers that get it. So
that's
he's growing really, really rapidly
good
too,
man.
guys.
He deserves it too. Yeah, he's like I said, I couldn't speak
highly
highly
cards like that.
Yeah. So
far out.
good prices too. You know, you get, like
bro, sure.
just the way that they look like there should be. You know, there's so much more value behind them, and you know, I'm believing that it's still lower than what it's eventually going to get up to. Like,
man,
if you compare the heroes to the supers, the artwork alone is. I hardly
even turn an eye to supers now.
I mean, half the card on the front in a super is, you know, a little description on what the card can do in the game,
which is fine. But
100%. But like the artwork where there's nothing on the front and it's just all about the character and you know what it is. It just mate.
And the cracked ice finishes.
I used to watch Dragon Ball when I was a kid, and now I'm fucking hooked.
You went over and watched the Broly saga.
Bro, you touched on that in store, bro.
I'm hooked.
Yeah. The nostalgia it brings, bro, like it's just insane. Like,
because it was a different cartoon or anime or whatever, however you want to call it. Like it was completely different to the rest, and like that it was. You know, these jacked up superhero sort of guys as opposed to, you know, like Naruto, which was an Astro Boy, or, you know, like, you know,
I never watched Naruto.
But you've got all these sort of other, I guess, corny animes that certain people are, and there's nothing wrong with those corny animes either, but Dragon Ball was a lot more like,
it was more mainstream back then.
Yeah,
you'd fucking watch it every afternoon.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's what hit for me is because, you know, we weren't rich growing up or anything like that. Like, we weren't wealthy. But you know, mum worked 2 jobs, doing all that sort of jazz. So when I'd run home,
he ate off silver spoons.
Silvers,
mate. Fuck no! I had my upbringing was
brought up in the royal family, weren't you?
The royal family.
I wish.
I love
sorry,
it.
Sorry,
bro, go for it, bro. But that's what it brought back to me. Is 3:00, you finish school back in NZ, so I'm originally from New Zealand. And you'd run home, and then you get home, and then at 3:30 you just rush to make sure you get that 3:30 because you didn't want anyone at school having to tell you what happened if you missed that first 10. Yeah. So you'd run home, you get there, and then you like pop it on the TV, and then like, you know, luckily mum was working that second job because otherwise I would have got smacked around if I was just watching, you know, watching anime, bro.
Yeah.
So bro, I was just boom, hit that, and then just watching that, bro, and it gave you something sort of like obviously gangs and shit. There's a lot of that. Back anywhere really, right? Yeah. You know, you have bad influences, good influences. You have all that. And this was sort of the thing that sort of drew me out of it because I was able to go there and spend that time rather than loitering in
the wrong crowds.
Yeah, bro. Like after school parks and stuff, everyone gets up for a little bit of a rumble.
Yeah.
I was a little bit different. Bro. I'd go watch the rumbles on TV rather than get involved in it. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, so that was it, bro. I'd run home and do that. So that's what it brought back to me. But just to wrap up, Heroes. If anyone else is actually wondering what Heroes is, they're like, bro, Heroes. Like I've never even heard of it. Like. So Heroes is actually an anime series. So you got Dragon Ball.
I think it's actually on.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So we've actually got some of it
displayed on the TV.
I need a fucking hooky and sub. Yeah,
but look, so the reason I want to touch and wrap it up, the Heroes is
2 minutes.
2 minutes. I'll wrap this one up real quick. Is Heroes is an anime series, but in my opinion, it is a little bit underwhelming. I think they could have done better, and the reason being is they did the series without Akira Toriyama, who actually makes all the series. They went on their own.
Oh, okay.
In terms of a series, it had all the great makings of a series.
Yep.
But they sort of rushed it. But in Japan, man, it's all the rage. So it's the same thing. At 3:00, I run home and watch Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
They run home and watch Heroes. And so when you do watch it, if you're curious and you go have a look at it, watch it with an open mind because it's very different. And it's basically those who are following on from Super. It's the next series after Super. And just to give you a little super quick overview, it's basically 2 bad guys wanting to overthrow Zeno, who is actually the master of the universe. So get into it, have a look. It's not for everyone's cup of tea, But in terms of the artwork and the cards, holy,
Yeah,
they're undefeated. Undefeated.
It hits different.
All right, guys, we're going to have a little quick break, and we'll come back to this one shortly.
Yep.
Rip.
Rip.
Welcome back to the Coach Carter podcast with Stevie G, him and his Dragon Ball. And mate, for anybody that is watching at home, it's probably standing out quite a fair bit. But for the listeners, he's actually come in the dopest sweater. What do you call it? A sweater? It's like a Dragon Ball fit.
Bro.
Just like this long sleeve Dragon Ball fit. And there's a little bit of stories behind it too, because I noticed it straight away. I was like, fuck, that's sick. So
I need one.
Yeah, Blakey wants one. Maybe we can all dress up in one. But
Dragon Ball.
But he's about to drop a little bit of knowledge on us to probably cut a little bit of that out. So Stevie takes us away. 1 of 1, isn't it?
Yeah, man. So from my knowledge,
Yeah,
because that could change because I've seen the. Don't mean to be rude to the company, but they did drop a few others and then they made some more sizes. So, but from what I've seen on the actual site, they haven't reprinted this one. So it's literally the only one that they've sold.
Yeah.
Of this one. So yeah, basically, man. What caught my attention again? Talking about looking at trends. What caught my attention was basically there was a trend going where I was looking at sort of NBA swag.
Yeah.
I was checking it out. I was like, man, these dudes,
They're ahead of the game with a lot of the stuff,
bro,
aren't they?
Just some of the stuff they
Kuz
wear,
is a bit weird, like skirts and stuff.
Bro, he reminds me of
I don't know about
Dennis
skirts,
Rodman.
but-
Yeah. He was the OG trend. Like,
bro, Dennis could pull it off though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
There's Kuzma wearing a fucking kilt.
wearing a
Yeah,
kilt,
fuck
bro.
off.
Yeah,
I
that wasn't
mean,
nice.
each to their own, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd be wearing a kilt or dress anytime soon.
Yeah.
Unless it's Dragon Ball, maybe. Who knows, bro? Who knows? But
You might catch me in it on a Friday night.
But yeah. So with the I searched that up and I just seen a lot of like a trend that was starting to take off was tapestry, and I was like, far out. Like there's some few dudes like
You have to break that down for me exactly. What's tapestry?
tapestry. So
Like
tapestry.
straw? Nah.
Oh no,
It's not like
it's
small
like
meals or anything.
oh, wish bro, I get hungry now. But think about that. But no, tapestry is basically for again like loose knowledge here. But tapestry, from what I know, is basically they weave all the fabric together themselves, like hand woven.
Oh wow, yeah.
I could, there could be machines that actually do it too.
Yeah.
So mainly like tapestry is done by hand by those who do tapestry.
Yeah.
But it's mainly done on like photo frames. So if you go to like your grandma's house, they've got tapestry of like a dog. On their wall.
I have one. I have one in my house.
In your living room.
I'll send you a photo of it, bro. I have one.
Bro.
Tapestry.
Take it down, bro. Put it on a shirt.
I'm living in the oldest house, bro. I tell you that much. It's
bro,
it's
I
old.
love it. But yeah, man. So like
Doesn't
that's
surprise me, Blake.
Nah. Lived through a few wars.
Yeah.
That's more so what tapestry is. Like they
Yeah.
make little tapestry artwork, similar to like knitting, I guess.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
use
yeah.
like really little tools and just.
Yeah, because it looks like an embroidered fucking
Yeah.
picture. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
It's-
man.
yeah.
But in person, so like looking at it on video, but versus seeing it in person, man, it's crazy. The
Yeah,
quality
it's
is
different.
Yeah.
and what it is
Some of
really
the
great.
detail in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tapestry was sort of like catching my eye. I was like, I don't see many people wearing tapestry. It's not really happening. So I started doing my own research and doing like tapestry and then tying it into what I like, which is Dragon Ball. And then I was just like looking and I found this dude that only had like 5 followers and he was like coming soon, tapestry Dragon Ball, and I was like, bro, like I gotta get on this. So
Yeah.
I DM'd him and I just said to him, hey bro, like I see you coming out with tapestry, like what's your first drop? And he's just like, oh, I've already done one, but I've got one coming up, which is gonna be like an SS3 sort of thing. And it's like, sweet bro, like I'm keen. And then he goes, yeah, I can't obviously sell it to you particularly, it'll go up.
Yeah.
And then first to get it, and I was like, oh, it's got 5 followers, bro. It's 1 in 5 chance I'm gonna get this. So
The
I'm
randomizer.
gonna run those,
take my
run those
odds, yeah.
chances, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, bro, so I jumped on when he dropped it, and for those who don't know, most people would know who follow the sort of vintage market, but Grailed, there's an app called Grailed. You can download that for free, and it's where people put their grails up. So this was his stores on Grailed, and this was one of his grails that he was selling. So that's how I got onto Grailed. Was he showed me on Instagram. I went to his site, and I was like, Grailed, and I found people
We're just
throwing
putting
up vintage stuff.
Yeah.
So I waited for the drop, got the drop. I think it was about 250 AU. in total.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, to some people they're like, "What the hell are you paying $250 for a sweater?"
Fuck,
But
people
when
pay thousands for a pair of shoes.
bro, Jordans and stuff go crazy, right?
Fuck.
And considering the sweater, from what I was told, was going to be the only one that it was dropping, so I was probably $250 is a steal.
Yeah.
And regardless, I'm a fan of Dragon Ball, so it was a steal in my mind anyway. You know, so
Regardless of the value.
yeah, bro. So I just grabbed it. I was hoping and praying his 5 followers like is this going to come to
They weren't
Australia?
online.
And then you checked it out this morning, eh? And then
so he's got like 1,400 followers now. So shout out to the. I'll get the name. We'll link it up. We'll link it up.
Chuck it in the description.
I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it. That's all right. So I don't want to do him dirty.
Yeah.
He's got 1,400 followers now, and for those who are into that sort of stuff, Tapestry is, in my opinion, taking off. He had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's now wearing one of his sweaters. Yeah. I think he got a Zoro one, who, for those who don't know, that's from One Piece. Can't pronounce his name fully, Honorary Zoro, something like that. But
tongue twister.
Yeah, man. So that he was wearing one of them, and also the guy from the Pelicans. I should know his name. No, the center.
Steven Adams.
No, the one that they drafted.
We should know this.
Did she?
Sideshow Bob sort of hairstyle.
Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes.
Hayes.
He was rocking a Dragon Ball sweater similar to this. I think it had Goku on it. As a print, but not SS3. And for those who don't know, I'm just like throwing out all these freaking abbreviations. Super Saiyan 3, SS3 is Goku. But yeah, man. So the vintage market in terms of shirts are popping off. Yeah. And shout out to my boys back in NZ, Vintage by JP, Dubsy Tees, to those boys, because they're the ones who sort of got me into vintage.
Yeah.
I seen what they were doing.
You rocked up you walked into the store the other day with a vintage DB Dragon Ball shirt, didn't you?
Yeah, shout out to Dubsy Tees. He was the bro that I got a deal done.
I'm fucking getting some up.
Yeah. They have priced me out a bit at the moment, but little inside tip, in Brisbane on the 12th of September on a Sunday, they're running a vintage market. They've been trying to run it for the last 2 months.
Yep.
COVID's been in the way because Brisbane had their few lockdowns.
But we know where we're going.
So from 7 till 3, they're running one of the craziest vintage markets. You can go there, trade your shirts, buy some mad vintage tees.
Yep.
We'll link that up as well.
Yeah.
But bro, the more people that go to it, the more it gets out there, and you're gonna get some steals. You're gonna get some steals because there's a lot of people who are wanting to move some product.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people who want to trade one of my Dragon Ball shirts for like 5 WWE tees.
Nice.
WWE's Stone Cold.
Right, speaking of WWE, Gary V's, one of his latest podcasts was about figurines in wrestling and prices of figurines. And
that was my childhood, basically.
Figurines,
There is some big figurines out there worth some money.
Not autoed or anything?
No, not auto, just figurines. So like vintage figurines.
Like already opened or just still
it'd be encased, yeah.
But
all these fucking 80s, from the 80s and stuff like that. So they're vintage.
Yeah.
And he was raving on about it for a good 15 minutes about how he sees the market moving into WWE figurines, cards, and just that aspect as well, because WWE was huge.
WWE was huge and
still is huge.
In my upbringing, yeah. I used to, like similar like you were with Dragon Ball, I was quite similar with WWE. I had to get home and watch Raw.
Yeah,
Raw every Monday.
Bro, I'd sit down on my fucking couch, I'd put some Doritos down, put it in the microwave, some cheese, that's my nachos.
How gutted were you boys when you finally, I hope you finally found out, but when you finally found out that Kane and Undertaker weren't brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, what a heartbreak, bro. What a heartbreak,
bro. Because I held onto that for so long. And then when someone goes, bro, they're not brothers, bro. There's just, they're not actual real brothers. Like, they're brothers, and then, when I found out, I was like, bro,
no way.
Bro, I used to think wrestling was so real.
My dad.
What do you mean used to? It still is, bro.
I was literally fucking watching this. My dad's like
what? And Santa's not real? Fuck.
Yeah, fucking Tooth Fairy.
Easter Bunny's not real? Fucking hell, just dropped them all, Blake.
No, he was ripping into me. He was like, "You're watching fake fighting, Blake. You know that." And I'm like, "No, it's not."
So the kids out there, all of that is still real.
Yeah,
we're just mucking around here, bro. We're just mucking around.
And he would literally pause it before like someone was
find a better podcast for your kids.
And he's like, watching hit himself as he stomps. I'm like, Dad, fuck off. I'm watching this.
It used to be quite real. Do you ever remember Joey? It was the Mercury brothers, and he was in it. They were in a ladder match with the Hardy Boys, and
they're jumping off fucking 70-foot ladders and shit.
And but like one of the ladders was down near Joey. I can't remember his name. The other one was Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury, I believe. Team TNT, and they had
TNT.
They had the chick. They had a chick in as their manager.
How fit with the wrestling chicks?
Yeah, bro. Trish Stratus, Kelly. Let's go. But anyway, and then there was like it was like a wedged ladder on like a seesaw, and he jumped on one end and held the other dude's face at the other end, and the ladder just went up and smacked him, and the guy's career was over. Because it was actual impact, like it just started gushing open with blood. He never returned to wrestling. I don't believe anyway.
Wow.
At least not.
Yeah,
but that was one of the worst injuries,
there.
and there was some hectic. Like you think about it, it was fake or whatever. They put their bodies on the line.
100%, bro.
Mick Foley, the goat of that. When he
bro.
got thrown off the top of the fucking Hell in a Cell by Undertaker.
That was
You
like
know
my
what time it
favourite.
is. I've
God.
had one beer and,
Blake,
you know what it
sneaky
means. I need a piss.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, you continue. I'll be back.
Jeez, my shoulders, bruh. No wonder they're so big from carrying you all the time. Fuck.
You don't have to carry me to the bathroom.
I'm trying not to, bro. I'm trying not to.
Give me a piggyback in there.
But yeah, WWE and the market that you were shouting out. So when was the date again?
I'll get the name again, but I'm pretty sure it's Brisbane Vintage Market, and it's the 12th of September.
Okay.
12th of September, bro. So they're if you're into shirts, bro, if you're into vintage t-shirts and you want to get yourself some that aren't from Cotton On sort of thing, like nothing wrong with Cotton On.
Reprint ones.
No, nothing wrong with Cotton On, but if you want to get something that's original, if you're already into original cards and stuff like that, and you want to get something that original shirts.
Yeah.
Brisbane Vintage Exchange, Brisbane Vintage Exchange on the 12th of September. We'll link that up.
Yeah, definitely. We'll do a little bit of in-house promotion for that. That's going to take us through to the cardboard side of things, bro. Because I want to show the viewers, I guess, your collection and hear a little bit about why you. Because this the big thing about the cardboard stories is we're taking a little bit out of. Look at the shine on that. So we're taking a little bit out of the Brendan Schaub diaries, and we want to know a little bit more about your collection. I know you've given us a really good rundown on the DB Heroes side of things. I know that you're a big Ben Simmons fan too,
bro.
So
I'm bro.
Break our Dragon Ball up with a little bit of Benny Simmons and explain to us sort of what you've gotten up to recently.
No, thanks for leading into that, bro. Yeah, so like going into the sports side of things, I was heavily invested in sort of the investing aspect of getting sports cards, and
that was your main attraction to getting into sports cards.
Yeah, it was just the investment side.
And
of
you're
things.
a bit of a collector with Dragon Ball already as well.
Yeah, so Dragon Ball was a no-brainer for me. As soon as I found that Heroes were there, Super had sort of priced me out because there's a lot of Dragon Ball collectors, and a lot of them are Super but don't really know about Heroes.
Yeah.
So Heroes was very underrated when I got into it. Now they're selling for like $1,200 to I think a card recently sold on DB Heroes AU for like $4,500 from a store. So you imagine the secondary market.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's only 2 years in. So you imagine 10 years down the track.
Have they only been making DB Heroes for 2 years?
No. So being supplied from DB Heroes AU for 2 years already. And that's the thing, they're already graded, guys. So if you're like, you're looking at a raw card, right? A secret rare, which is like $150. I should touch on what these secrets and stuff like that are really. So just while we're on that subject, all the cards have different sort of rarities. You can get your commons, your promos. You can get your ultra rare, super rare, and secret rare. So they're your sort of
your levels and tiers of what determines the price of a card.
Exactly right. Yeah, and it's sort of
the rarity
of the card, and so obviously secret rares. Speaks
so start from the bottom. So it's common.
Common.
You'll see a C on the top.
C on the top
left.
It can get quite confusing. So I'm on Thursday, so come and ask me any questions about it because there's also a CP, which is a campaign promo. So if you've seen that on the top,
I have seen a few of those
CP,
actually. CP, yeah.
So CP is a campaign promo. You'll also see after them. So C is common, CP campaign promo, stuff like that. There's also a P, which is promotional.
Yep.
And then you've got your ultra rare, super rare, SR, UR, and then you've got your secret rare, which is SEC.
So your secret rares are your top.
That's what you want. Yeah. If you're a true collector and you want to get a nice collection, it's 6-7 layered foil cards that are just absolute. I mean, like just showing you guys before, like that's the artwork.
It just hits different.
Like I mean, we'll post these up on the
I'll do a little bit of a close up too.
But yeah, they're incredible. So your commons generally don't have much shimmer to them or cracked ice foil sort of thing. Generally they're just a straight card. They'll have like a little bit of a flare of the foil. And then you go into your ultimate rares and stuff like that. So for instance, the secret rares are the ones you want to chase. I actually grabbed a few commons as well just for the nostalgic hit. Some of the cards were just like, I remember them, you know.
Such good artwork.
And I was like, oh bro, that's Android fucking 16, and I'm like, what did that do, and all this sort of stuff, and that's basically what Heroes is, and you get your secrets and that, and it can be quite confusing because you'll see different little things on the top right.
Because there's 4 stars, 3 stars.
So there's two 4 stars. So there's your ultimate rares and your secret rares in the same sort of category. The only difference is the secret rares come out in like there's not many prints of these particular cards.
Yeah.
And what I mean by prints is not how many come out, but how many are made in a secret rare. So if you're looking for a secret rare, there's just only a handful that are floating around of that particular card.
Yeah. Okay.
But they don't come out and make secret rares every day. They make them every so often.
Yeah.
So ultimate rares and stuff like that, they
come out.
Ultimate Ultra, I have to double check that.
Yeah.
But they come out like, they probably come out weekly as they're making those sets.
Yeah.
And then your commons are just daily things that they're just constantly printing. And there's all these mission sets, but honestly, like if you need full blown information, DB Heroes AU, they'll be more than happy to help you out. I've got like that 80% knowledge on it.
Yeah.
So come and store and see me.
Yeah.
And if there's something I don't know, I'm more than happy to admit that I don't know it.
Yeah.
And then I'll source that information for you.
For sure.
That's what I'm
Legend. So Stevie G's in store on Thursdays, and we'll do a little bit of promotion around that as well. But yeah, for anybody interested in some Dragon Ball knowledge, as you guys can tell from this podcast, he's our guy. So I'm pretty excited for Thursday, bro. Let you run wild.
I'm stoked. I'm so stoked, man.
Yeah.
Like to be part of the team, man, it's a true blessing, bro. Like seriously, boys, I really appreciate that. Maybe one day a week, but it's a day that I'll utilize. A lot and help out boys.
And it's helping us out so much too, bro. So
a lot.
Appreciate you being a part of it, my man. And so let's bring out your briefcase, brother. So for the listeners, head over to our YouTube channel, Rip N'Collect, because you guys will be able to see some of the hits that he's got. He's also going to have his cards with him on Thursdays, and he might leave a few around the shop if he's nice enough. And
I might let you, Benny, take these bad boys.
Do you want me to do the close-ups?
I'm not sure whether the camera will focus on the close-ups, but we can always.
I'll stand there. You can tell me if I'm.
Just have a quick squiz at these bad boys.
Yeah, we do got to get them a little bit closer. See if Blakey. I have a feeling it's on manual focus.
Oh, that's all right, boys.
So we won't.
More of an excuse to come in on Thursday and see these in person,
exactly right. But
I'm just going to pick which one I want.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess we probably won't have time to go through every single card or whatever. So maybe just go through maybe your top 5 to 10 Dragon Ball if you're able to. And then we'll also show off your Ben Simmons collection as well.
Oh, bro.
And talk about him and what's going on there.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
And then you've got also a couple of other, like the Michael Jackson cards and a couple of other gems that we'll sort of throw in there.
Some random ones there.
We've got the time. We've got about 12 minutes to run this.
So real quick, I'm going to narrow it down to top 3. Because, I've got 3 black labels and I am beyond grateful to actually own these, man. Because getting a black label was...
And a black label for the listeners is a BGS, so Beckett Grading Services, and it's got quad 10s. So you've got all your corners are 10s, your surfaces are 10s, edges are 10s, and what else? What have I forgotten? Centering's 10.
Yeah.
That card is deemed a black label, which is in there it's immaculate. The population reports on those are super low because, as Stevie was mentioning earlier about the process that these Dragon Ball heroes take, it is quite hard to, almost near impossible these days to get a black label. So the Big G, he's got 3 in his collection.
Fuck, they are nice.
And how'd you acquire these?
Good question, bro. So again, man, I've been shouting him out so much today.
I'm pretty sure he's gotten a few followers off us too from that. Yeah,
I was holding, bro. I hold them. But no. So DB Heroes AU, bro. So again, I was one of the lucky ones to get on super early on the DB Heroes, SDBH Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Got on very early when he was just starting off. And yeah, man, I went on and I brought them, and I've had a great relationship with him. I haven't been very active on my social, so I will change that. More so because I've been focusing on family and stuff, so I will be a bit more active on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, got onto it very early, and then brought them from him directly. I thought it's best to buy them already slabbed because the process of getting them slabbed, the wait times, everything, like
especially
if you
now.
oh man,
It's
especially
virtually impossible.
Oh, it's like you're getting 9.5s now. Like the grading process is so strict now that to get 10. So
waiting a year to get a 9.5.
So yeah, these are my grails.
And what exactly are they?
Cool. So yeah, they're just black labels. So we've got a secret rare here, which is a Big Bang Mission 2, Xenoverse. So it's Son Goku. We've got him in Super Saiyan Blue, and then we've also got him in a Super Saiyan 4. So on the same card.
On the same card, wow.
Which is pretty crazy, like to get him on the same card. That's that one there. This one here, man, this one to me is crazy. So there's a little bit of a backstory to this one.
Yeah.
So this one here was actually released twice. There was two versions of the card.
Yeah.
So one version came out with the same foiling as these cards, like super reflective, and then they brought out a dark version.
Okay.
So this is a dark version. So this one here doesn't have all the super crazy foiling like the other ones.
Is that from Broly? No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, bro. So that one there, man. That's when Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan still, and that's when he had to power up to smash Frieza and Planet Namek. So that's after they had a bit of a scrap and he powered up. And that's Black Label. So that one there is Saiyan Rage Goku in a different variation to the normal one that was released.
Yeah, wow.
That one's a ultra rare. Well, what makes it even rare is that it's a dark version. It's not your normal. So
that's awesome.
That's that one. And then last but not least,
still pops though, eh?
Oh man, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
To get it. If you can actually see it on DB Heroes AU. You can actually see the other version.
Okay.
And if you see the two of them together, you'd be like, where the hell can you get the dark one?
Yeah.
The foiling sort of overpowers.
I see what you mean.
Overpowers it on the other one.
Whereas the foil's just on the fire in this one.
Yeah, so you can actually full on see Goku.
Yeah. That's sick.
But yeah, last but not least, and again, you guys need to come and see these in person. But this one here is a Black Label Apex. So this one here, man, like there's a super version of this. So there's a Dragon Ball Super. They do an Apex of Power.
Yep.
Recently, it made the record sale. But the population of that card is quite big. Now, it was a Black Label as well.
Yep.
And it sold for 90,000.
Whoa! In the super version?
The super version?
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about the Apex version in Heroes is that every single person you speak to in Dragon Ball Circles, Super and Heroes, prefer the Apex version in Heroes. Yeah. Because the artwork is just, I'll have to get a photo of you boys to show you the super version.
Yeah.
But the artwork is undefeated on this one. You know, to have the two the two centerpieces of the series since Dragon Ball on one card, the apex of their power. So that's Super Saiyan Blue Beyond,
full
and Ultra Instinct Master.
Full forms.
Yeah, full form. And a Black Label as well. It's just, so that
cherry on top.
Come on in and see that one. I will bring it to the store.
So you are open to trades on that one?
Oh, unfortunately, there will be no trades on
NFT on that one. Yeah, that's my favorite, bro.
Yeah, so
so much shimmer to it too.
So yeah, that's a bit of a.
And as you can see, he's got a stack of 10s there too. Dragon Ball
all 10s. Again, we can't really show them right now because it's just hard with the camera. But and timing. But come into store on Thursdays, you'll get to see them in hand. And
that's awesome.
All right, take us through to the next lot of cards, my bro.
Yeah. So we've got probably 8 minutes now.
Yeah, we've got about 8. Yes. 7.
Yeah, bro. Yep. Yeah. So I'm a Ben Simmons tragic.
So you're a Brick fan?
I'm a Brick fan, bro. I love how he built that orphanage.
I've seen that one. Yeah. In the playoffs, wasn't it?
With his bricks, So
hit a few, didn't he?
Yes, I'm part of the Brick squad. So, but look, bro, like I've loved Simmons' game since college. I followed him through high school, Montverde, and then through into LSU. To everyone's point, obviously he does lack that mental ability to have that sort of grab it by the throat of the game and really,
just that confidence.
Yeah, he does lack that. And I'll always come to his defense because that's my PC player. I have a great collection, but besides that being a good collection and a great investment for the future, that aside, like Ben Simmons is my guy, and I could never trade the collection I have.
Yeah.
Right, it's a collection in a half.
What a collection.
So,
take us through to that. Yeah, so Stevie just brought these in store the other day for us to have a look at, and we were astonished because, not only is 18, 19 probably the most expensive set to collect, but you just never really see this many cards of the same player in one set, and I guess I spilled the beans a little bit there for you, Stevie, but so if you want to just touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah. So, basically, it was just, I'd say it's luck. Stroke of luck.
Yeah.
But,
right place, right time, right offer.
That's it, bro. So, yeah, I was lucky enough to be surfing eBay and just chucking in some random... I'm constantly, as we all are, constantly on eBay. And
Bakey reckons 2 hours, is it a day or...
Fuck.
Double
2 hours
double
every
that.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm on eBay.
I feel like I'm the only one that doesn't hang out on eBay.
I fall asleep to eBay, bro. I'm searching and I'm like falling asleep as I'm scrolling.
Yeah. So, I was on eBay and I was lucky enough that I searched the most random search. I just chucked in Ben Simmons lot Prism 1819. And every time I search Ben Simmons or I search Ben Simmons PSA, I keep searching stuff like that. Nothing was really, like, just normal. Everything was coming up. And I was like, I want to buy, like, a little set, maybe 10 cards of his. And, and did I buy a set? I mean, man.
Oh, wow.
So, I searched it up and it came up and I made an offer that I just could not believe the guy accepted.
That's right. I heard that.
I could not believe it. But here they are in all their glory.
Yes.
Pretty much the full set of the 1890.
Set of 1890 Ben Simmons. I uploaded it on our Instagram story the other day, and we had a lot of reactions to that as well.
The only missing card is the 101
missing piece is the 101 Nebula.
So
if anyone sees that,
man. If it hasn't been ripped, I don't know the authenticity of the site that I look at for cards being pulled.
What is that? Do you know?
We'll link that up soon. But I looked it up and it said it hasn't been pulled yet out of that set. So if someone knows someone that's... see, the problem with the 1819 set is it's the most expensive box. So because of your Lucas and everyone, right?
Yeah.
So
and considering the Luca hasn't been pulled, the 101 Nebula, that's
bro, someone nearly got me, bro, because I seen a photo on Instagram that someone had the Nebula of Luca. It's like, what? But it was like a Photoshop one. And I was just like, bro, someone got the Nebula.
Yeah. Big card.
So considering that card's still floating around, the boxes are still holding at like $3,800 to $5,000 for a box. So I'm not going to pay $5,000 to open a box and get a Ben Simmons common card. So I do want the Nebula. So if someone does pull that, who's listening or watching the pod, you got to buy it here. I'll probably have to take my arm off or something.
Sell a few jerseys. Dragon Ball jerseys.
See the stack here? No, I'm just kidding. But
really.
Not really. But so that's I've still got another 25 cards sitting down here that need to be graded, but these are the ones that came graded. And regardless of what the price, if I had paid it for the full price, to me it would have been a steal anyway. Because
and how many cards in total do you know?
I've got 34, so I'm actually missing 2.
Okay.
So I'm missing 2. So there is one other one, which is the black 1 of 1.
Yeah.
That came out in the Prism, but I don't necessarily want it. So yes, I am actually missing 2.
Okay.
There's a Prism Nebula 1 of 1, and then the 1 of 1 black.
Yeah.
The 1 of 1 black is the ugliest card in my opinion. It's got great value because
I think the Trey Young 1 of 1 black got pulled from the 1890 Prism. And it's literally like it kind of resembles the base card, but a black background. So Nebula's definitely catch your attention.
And the thing with the Nebula, and every single person agrees that is probably the best looking card in the history of Prism.
100%.
In the history of Prism. So that's quite controversial for me to say that, but I mean seriously, for 1 of 1 cards, what it has, it's like you've gone into another galaxy. It's got this galaxy appeal to it, and it's just
it's the Grails.
Yeah,
it pops. Alrighty, Stevie's got so much more cards that he's going to show us, but again, come down on Thursdays to check that out. We'll be doing a couple more potties with Stevie as well because it just flows so well, and he's an absolute G on the mic. So we're gonna wrap this one up here, guys. But we hope you guys enjoyed it. Anything else you guys want to quickly say?
Always, mate.
Before we wrap
let it rip.
I got one thing to say too, which is let it rip.
Hey,
let's go.
Nice.
Well done, lads.
Guys.
Cheers, boys.
Good stuff, boys.
Shit, bro.
Legends. Thanks, boys.